My name is Jax Blackwell. I'm 20. I live in Lowry's, but I hunt just outside of Chester city limits. I love the chase. I love scouting, trail cameras, all that stuff is definitely my favorite. I use a rifle. I use a 300 blackout Ruger American. So the land that I have right now, there's a big field, there's a clear cut, and then the rest is like white oaks, and the Sandy River runs right through the middle of it. So the stand that I ended up getting him in was just right on the creek, like right on the edge of the creek. I have two just I have a box stand, and then we have two just regular tree stands. So how I ended up finding them was my mama has her land, so she wanted a camera out there just to kind of keep surveillance over it. So we only have one camera out in the very beginning, and it wasn't really getting anything. So I was like, I'm just gonna throw out one of those protein XL blocks just to see what was around. And I think around June I got my first video of him, and that was just something else. I saw that and I just texted everybody and started sending pictures and all that stuff. He was off the left side of the screen, and you could whenever it's dark in your cameras, you kind of can't see far back, but you can kind of slowly see as they're coming in. So you could really just see he was in velvet. You could see him walking in, and he was just way bigger than anything I've seen over the last couple of years. So I really just went. I think we probably got two, because this June, so it's still really early in the season or in the year for deer hunting. So I went in. I think we probably got two or three more cameras, and I put one across the creek where he came from, and then I put one far on the other side of the property just to see where he was going, if he was going that way or if he was just coming to the block and leaving. And that was mainly what we did just to get it going. Well, I think it was already in season. I didn't go the first day or one of the first days, and I'd put out a camera on a scrape. I moved it to a scrape, and I didn't hunt. Just left the camera, and the next morning, he was there, and I didn't go. So that was something I was upset about that. But I ended up hunting that same scrape for the next couple of days, and he never came back. And I had something that was different about him. He kept his velvet basically all the way up until like late season. He doesn't have tarsal glands, so he really didn't do much rutting. He like didn't rut at all, so he kind of just stayed and used food resources, but that was mainly it. Well, really, realistically, until probably December 27th, he nocturnal completely. He stopped coming out. So that one picture I had of him was the only picture I have of him in daylight, and all the way up until the 27th, he was basically nocturnal. So I would try to hunt a little bit, but I wasn't getting anything done. I was seeing the deer that he would be with, but I wouldn't see him. So he was moving with a group of deer, but he wasn't coming out during the daylight. He'd wait till 30 minutes after and then come out. But that was mainly what I was doing whenever I was trying to get him in the season. Honestly, not really down. I knew that he was going to be safe. Like I felt like if I could keep him here, I could see him next year. I don't think he would end up. I mean, there's hunters around, but he was so smart with the way he was moving. I think he would have been safe throughout the year until next year, and somebody else would have gotten a chance at him. Okay, so I was actually on the game with my friends, and my mom walked in and she was like, "Are you gonna go hunting today?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got to get out of this." So actually got there a little late because I was playing the game with my friends. So I got there around 4, and I didn't really see anything. Usually he had been coming out after the other deer, but this day he came out before, and so he was right in front of me. He was probably 30 yards. I couldn't tell it was him at first. So he was walking straight at me, and he came in between a bunch of trees and brush, so I couldn't see him. And then he turned his head, and I saw the row of antlers just sticking out, all white. So I saw that, and before the hunt, I don't know why I did this, but I had just prepared. I put the gun up and made sure I knew where I was going to go whenever I got it, and I prayed that the big deer steps out tonight, and he ended up coming right where I thought he would go, and it was just easy shot. he ran right towards me after I got him and ran left and fell about probably no more than 30 yards away from the stand. And called everybody, texted everybody, called my Uncle Tommy and told him what had happened. I could still see the deer moving and blinking. So he was like, if you can see him, you need to try to get a follow-up shot in him. So I went down there and got up close to him, and I could only see his neck up. He was laying behind a log or like against the log, but his head was still moving and his eyes were still blinking. So I just put one through his neck, and he jumped up and like kind of like stanced out like his feet, playing with his feet, and then he just went back down. So he weighed 180. He had 14 points, but I think we have another couple of weeks before we can get him officially scored. I've done like a rough score, and it was like 149, 150 pretty consistently. Yeah, that's him. It took us a while to get him on to the get him up the hill and get him to the processor. So by the time we had gotten actually to the processor that night, it was closed. So I left him in the truck and went the next morning, and there wasn't that many people there, I guess, because it was such late season. Not many people were still hunting, trying to get their deer in there, but there was a couple of people there, and they were all shocked at the deer and stuff like that. Honestly, I think just being consistent with um, feeding, like using good attractants and stuff like that, just trying to get in there, not bumping him, and that's basically, I think the attractants really got him. Thank you to my mom, my Uncle Tommy, my papa, and my mama for letting me use her land and Raleigh in Houston. Well, I have another deer. He's pretty big. He's a 9 point this year. He's really wide. He was with this deer. I think he was with this deer the night that I shot him, actually. So we'll just see what he does next year.